Good evening to you. Welcome to Millbrae. That camera shot tells you almost all you need to know about the weather that's been down here in Ayrshire as the Ayrshire Bulls take on the Southern Knights. It's wet, it might get a little bit messy, but I tell you what, these are two teams ready to have a real go at each other. The Ayrshire Bulls and Southern Knights going head to head right here. Well, the weather isn't absolutely ideal, that's for sure. The players have been warming up on the pitches off to the right hand side behind the goals just to make sure that they won't spoil the pitch beforehand. Let's have a little look at the league table in terms of where we are. The Ayrshire Bulls are the league leaders, 31 points, 2 defeats, both to Watsonians. They have played one more game than Heriots. The Southern Knights currently in 4th place, and that's where they want to stay. And if they can try and catch Watsonians, all the better. The top 4 meet in the semi-finals of this competition. Let's have a little look at the teams. Jimmy Shedden has a concussion. He cannot play tonight. Fergus Johnson, Rory Jackson, Ryan Sweeney all out injured. And so too is Bobby Beattie, named in the original 15, but he's out with a thigh injury. Pat MacArthur telling me he just simply could not go. So there has been a change. Christian Townsend comes in off the bench to wear 10. Brad Roderick Evans moves into the centre. And look out for 20. Peter McCallum coming back to his old stomping ground at the request of Pat MacArthur. For the Southern Knights, where they had to make a few changes following last week's match against Watsonians. Gary Young dropping out of the squad due to injury. They do, however, welcome back Dan Gamble following a few games out. Hooker Luke Thompson was to keep the number 2 jersey. He played really well in that game, but there has been a switch by the Southern Knights from the announced 15. Corbin Thunder and Luke Thompson swap places on the bench. Carl Barrett comes in the centre. Chris Bell and Gregor McNish pair up again in the 9 and 10 positions. Alan Tate is the head coach of the Southern Knights, and he said earlier it's a big test for the players here at Ayr tonight. It's going to be a real physical battle, and that's for sure. It's going to be a physical battle in the pouring rain. Plenty of fans in. Normally they would go round part of the ground, but tonight the main stand appears to be exceptionally popular, and no great surprise. So Pat MacArthur takes his place in the stand, and Alan Tate is the man against them, both Scottish international players. Pat MacArthur doing a terrific job here at the Ayrshire Bulls. Dale Clancy is the man alongside me. We'll be watching this game together. Dale, you've played in many a contest when it's been weather like that. Ball security becomes exceptionally important.
Yeah, I think the battle up front as well is going to be pivotal in the way that this game's going to pan out. And I think also the inclusion of likes of Corbin Thunder, replacing Luke Thompson for the Southern Knights, just shows that they know they're going to need security, ball in hand, somebody who's a little bit dynamic as well. But it's Ayrshire Bulls on their home patch, and they'll be used to these sort of conditions. And I'm sure we're going to be in for a really physical encounter between both these sides.
Really looking forward to this one as the Southern Knights take to the field. And there is Chris Bell. And alongside him, Monroe Job. And the tall figure in the centre of Adam Hall. Aidan Cross already got a hat-trick this season in the league as Blair McPherson leads out the Ayrshire Bulls. All in pink, looking resplendent and ready to go. Well, they get together in the huddle. Christian Townsend wears 10. He is that late change, but he'll be ready to go. And big moments ahead here. Getting ready to get us underway. The Southern Knights, well, they've won 3 of 8 games this season. The Knights, they're 2 points ahead of the Stirling Wolves. And we are ready to go. Gregor McNish. There's the opening. Easily taken by McPherson. Rumbles his way forward. Ball's available. Rudy Campbell is our referee. was a collision. All bouncing around. And scrum down. It's not an ideal to keep your jersey clean.
No, 34 seconds into the game and he's already caked in mud. But you know, I think we've seen that there. Rhys Cullen's looking to try and put the ball in the air, get a little bit of distance and try and make it a fight in there. Now we've seen that against Watsonians at Ayrshire. He perhaps didn't get the distance and the accuracy he wanted, but in conditions like this, it's pivotal that you try and make a fist of it, kick the ball up, try and flap it back, but scrum down.
Jack Dobie is the player with no number. Jack Dobie, Corbin Thunder, Dan Gamble up against Andrew Nimmo, Alex Maguire and Craig Miller. Rhys Cullen waits to put in. Cullen. And the referee doesn't like the scrum. The applause coming from the back from Ayrshire Hosking. These are always interesting moments, first couple of scrums, to see who's going to get that little bit of superiority.
Yeah, and I think it's an area that the Southern Knights have perhaps really improved on from the last couple of campaigns. Up front, they've been testing every single team in the league, and it's something that perhaps was a bit of an Achilles heel last season, and they've certainly shored up in that aspect. And the return of Dan Gamble as well will be a huge asset for the Knights, but it's tricky conditions underfoot, so Rudy Campbell, the referee, is also going to have a big task in his hand to keep things steady in the scrum.
Cullen puts it in, there's the push coming on, but the ball is out. Cullen has it, plays it down the blind side, chasing back after that. And not having a chance was Callum Barrett, winning 25. Clever kick from Rhys Cullen.
Yeah, great option from Cullen there because his forwards were under the pump. Southern Knights putting a bit of pressure on them, and it wasn't a great ball for a scrum half in these conditions to gather, but was able to just see the space in behind, stab it over, and it puts Southern Knights back into their own area. And that's, you know, in nights like this, you want to be playing rugby in the right areas.
One of the best names in Scottish rugby, Corbin Thunder.
Totally agree.
That's well taken. Alan Ferry was up quickly. Ball has been taken to the back. You see Ferry there with a black band round the head. Andrew Nimmo not too happy. As that's sent high in there, it's a good take. Cullen just setting to try and get onside. There's the little coming together of Tim Brown. Cullen. Six is Lewis McNamara. McNamara being propelled forward by McPherson. Cullen, that was the counter ruck. Now McPherson tries to dump out. They're fighting for the ball on the deck. Tackle's called. Cullen's knee was on the ground. And Lewis McNamara gets it out. Beautifully done by Oscar Baird. Out wide it goes. Roderick Evans wears 12. And that's good rugby. Let's get things moving down the side.
Yeah, good play from the backs there. Townsend, you know, distributing the ball quickly, and it was well stabbed through there by Roderick Evans. But, you know, I think Ayrshire Bulls were fortunate to get the ball back on their side there. It looked like a great counter ruck from the Southern Knights. And I think perhaps Rhys Cullen's, his nimble and nifty ways, has just been able to sneak round the side and just go under the radar and get it back on the Bulls' side. And here we are, Southern Knights back inside their own 22.
Corbin Thunder gets the information from Jack Dobie. It's well taken. Theo, there was a hope in that time. Thunder has it. Looking for it is Chris Bell. He's been told to move. It's a decent kick. Mardelli has just stepped into touch.
Yeah, that's a great ball. Great exit out of the 22 as well. You know, Nosso Hope is a great asset and target in the line out. Brings it down well in that ball, and you can see here Bell just getting a great connection with that ball, keeping it nice and tight. And Bardelli just tiptoeing on the white line, just encroaching it ever so slightly, but no, he'll be forgiven for that because he's had a brilliant season so far.
It has been terrific. And he's certainly a try scorer that they'll have to keep an eye on. 3 tries and 7. McNeish Hong Kong internationalist, sends it forward. Just comes through the breadbasket of Archie Hoskett, and that's going to be a knock-on. We're going to see a lot of this tonight, and it's not about technique. Sometimes it's just how slippy that ball is. You're trying to get it, trying to pull it into the chest.
Yeah, definitely. You know, rugby's played in completely different ways. Like sometimes when it's nice and dry, you get to watch loads of tries, open field running. Everybody's skills are going to be tested this evening, and it makes an interesting game. The narrative of the game, and when the teams play, is almost as intriguing as seeing players blister through and score brilliant tries. So, you know, it's going to be a bit of a jostling arm wrestle, but it's going to be an intriguing encounter, and we're going to see a lot of that in this game. A lot of kicks and a lot of knock-ons.
Binds. Set. Hold.
Bulls scrum looks a little bit more solid that time. Now they're driving forward. They're trying to win the penalty.
Advantage.
The referee has given the penalty advantage.
Try and use it.
Well, been told to use it. Reece Cullen wasn't going anywhere.
Advantage, step row.
That was good scrummaging from Ayrshire Bulls. They saw the Southern Knights going backwards there.
Yeah, I think, you know, we've seen before the first scrum of this evening, Southern Knights got the upper hand and they were able to drive Ayrshire Bulls back, but on this occasion, you know, it's just that little bit of footing. As soon as in these conditions, if you get that nudge on, you can put the opposition under a lot of pressure and they benefit from the penalty.
Christian Townsend kicking to the stand side. Well, it's a night as a number 10. You've got to make the right decisions at the right times.
I was actually just watching that and looking and thinking that I'm glad I don't play rugby anymore. Even the walk across from the car park was difficult enough, but you know, these players will be relishing in this battle.
And it comes nicely taken, Oscar Baird.
That's once.
At the back, Alex Maguire has it. He's been told to use it. Reece Cullen wants it.
Yes, 9. No.
And he's got it. Pushes it across. Townsend tackled well. Jackler cleared out. Cullen goes again. Tim Brown on the carry. Now here's the opportunity. Townsend gets it. Roderick Evans nicely into the line was Chris Hyde.
Onside.
Now it's the long kick. It's just going to be. In fact, it hasn't. Well, that's one way to keep going. And look at Bardelli, never gave up on that ball. Well, they thought it was going to go out, it didn't, and the opening score goes the way of the Ayrshire Bulls.
Opportunistic try from a winger in a great vein of form, and just a little chip through. Great hands and accuracy from the Ayrshire Bulls. And Bardelli, not a lot of options, 3 Knights round about him, kicks downfield, and you'll see Cross just watches the bounce of that high ball, tries to kick it off, and oh, that's a close one. I think we'll probably get a better angle here, but I think Aidan Cross thinks it's went dead.
I think you certainly wished it had gone dead. We wondered from the way he reacted that it had.
Not a chance.
Nope. And just goes to show he thought he would get that bouncing ball and knock it out. Couldn't do so.
It's the bounce of a rugby ball. You know, in conditions like this, it's going to skitter across the ground, but sometimes it's going to hit that firm bit and just rise a bit too much. It slowed down, and it just allowed Bardelli a little bit of space and a gap to dot it down. And that's what you want your wingers to do. Never give up and just chase that ball down. I thought Cross had it covered, but Bardelli with great awareness, great skill set, and gets the first try of the night.
Got the opening try when we were last down here against Heriots from kickoff as Brad Roderick Evans gets ready with the kick. Gets the kick away. Beautifully done. Well, perfect start for the Ayrshire Bulls. Fine try, even better conversion from there in this weather. But Bardelli never gave up, and just watch Cross, 14 in black. Thought he'd done enough to send the ball out, and it just stopped.
Yeah, that's a great angle there to see, and the joy from Bardelli as well. And I think the conversion, you know, a brilliant conversion from out wide. You know, they're going to be important points this evening.
Ed Bloodworth leading the charge through. He's knocked on.
You know, one thing from that try that did show was probably the improvements of Southern Knights in defence. You know, Ayrshire Bulls are known they have to go wide, and I think that they're probably surprised by the improvement of the Southern Knights over the last couple of campaigns, because you look at their half-time scores and they're always in the game more or less. You know, and sometimes they just perhaps the teams draw away from them with strength and depth in the squad. But you know, Ayrshire Bulls getting off to a quick start, but again, the defensive pressure again coming off there from the Southern Knights just shows that, you know, there's been vast improvements in this squad.
Already won more games this season than they did in the championship and the sprint combined last term. That's the scrum. A little bit ugly on that occasion. Comes back up. It's a night if you're a back, you know you're going to spend a lot of time watching the forward scrummage.
Yeah, I know, I'm getting jealous when you see the plumes of heat come out from the top of the scrum. Just wishing you're maybe huddled in there. It's not too cold at Millbrae this evening, but I think it is going to be a game for the forwards, and benches are going to be important as well. And just looking at the likes of Tanner and Farquhar and, you know, Henderson on the bench for Ayrshire Bulls, that's a really strong bench to bring off in a game like this.
It's a squad with such depth, given the players that they're missing. Ryan Sweeney, Rory Jackson, 2 huge misses.
Yeah, definitely. You know, they're a really strong squad. That's why they're top of the pile. It's their depth that they've got here at Millbrae and the culture.
Archie Hosking is the number 8. The line's been told to use it, and he has done so. There's a little clip kick through by Adam Hall. Glendenning spilled that, and now here's the opportunity to go all the way through and try and get in there, but Mardelli was just quick enough. And again, the weather having an impact.
Yeah, I did look at that ball from Hall and thought that it perhaps was the wrong option. Maybe look to keep the ball in hand and build some pressure and try and test this defence. But, you know, that's what the weather gives to these sort of games. These opportunities come up, but Bardelli covering really well round the back again. You know, being able to get round and just kind of diffuse the bomb that was put in behind. But the Knights will be happier that they're playing up here and they get an opportunity with the ball in hand now.
Corbin Thunder, not only does he have a great name, he's got great hair in there as well.
Yeah, he's been a revelation. The games that I've been involved in with the Knights, he's been really impressive. Came off the bench last weekend against Watsonian, scoring their try. He's been a good player.
Making his 7th appearance for the Southern Knights. He's connected to the Newcastle Falcons. Needs to get this in, Chris Bell. He's done so. Gregor McNeish waits for it. But now the advantage will be played. There's a little bit of speed here from Rhys Cullen. Cullen's hacked it through. McNeish is tracking back, so too is Barrett. Barrett's probably got the pace to drop on the ball. It'll be a goal line dropout. Well, that is the classic example of end-to-end stuff.
Yeah, but just from the pressure on the forwards, the scrum was craning forward. Just you could see it start to kind of peer up in the middle and break, and the front row was starting to rise. And it put Bell under a whole host of pressure just in behind the scrum. Loose ball and then hacked through, and you know that could have went anyway, but you know, I think the Knights will be glad that Barrett was there just sweeping up.
Wearing that traditional rugby jersey, number 25. Didn't fancy number 11 tonight. There's a little chip through Roderick Evans. Bell goes across. And again, you can just see the problems with the ball holding up there. And now the counter ruck as Barrett tries to get in there. The Bulls have arrived quickly. And Rosa Hope emerges, tackled well. Thunder comes in to help. Well, he's been told he is inside. That looked a little high there on Alan Ferry. Referee happy. Chris Bell just coming around the side of our job. Bell. That's a good take, and here comes the counter-attack. Bardelli, long looping pass. Referee happy that that was fine. On to Chris Elliott. Elliott's got plenty of pace. Elliott moves his way through. Cullen looks left, brings it right. Cullen in there again, moves it away quickly. Townsend, good hands. McPherson, dragged down. Cullen. Townsend, Roderick Evans again. There's the kick in behind. Nicely done. Donald Crawford. So again, it's a great take. That's nicely played by Chris Hyde. Mardelli in the midfield. Pushing in there is Chris Elliott. Now Cullen just has to hook the ball away. Townsend. That's going to be contestable on that far side. And it's been won by Glendenning, and he's going to take top prize of the try.
What a take there from Glendenning. I'm not sure how he's been able to judge the flight of that ball. and I never even seen him get his trumpet out because he was rising. As soon as that ball was there to be contested, you can see here off the boot of Townsend, well judged. And Crawford is not an easy player to beat in the air, but Glendinnan's done a great job just getting his body in the right position.
I genuinely thought Crawford had timed this right. He was in a great position, watching the ball all the way, just got snatched. Used the side of the head to hold on to the ball.
Yeah, Crawford's a really, really good fullback, and I thought he had judged that pretty well watching this live here at Millbrae. You know, he's just got across the park there, covered well, looked at the danger. Glendinnan's just snuck in front of him at the last minute. As Crawford's jumping, he's just jumped a fraction after and used his awareness to get his body in the right position. And great play by the wingers from Ayrshire Bulls.
Well, it's always a good night as a rugby side when your wingers are scoring the tries, and that's what's happened so far. Here's Brad Roderick Evans. He's been a very solid, reliable kicker. Looking to add the extras. That's another good kick. Cue another blast of music from the PA as the Ayrshire Bulls go into 14 points to 0 lead.
Ayrshire Bulls got to this position, great take by Glendinning, but Southern Knights were on the attack, if we remember, a couple of minutes before. Pressure in the scrum, a foot race, and then just Southern Knights couldn't exit under a bit of pressure, and there's an error from the restart as well. So, you know, it's not been going well the last few minutes for the Southern Knights.
Out on the full, so the options, you suspect, will take the scrum. Southern Knights need to be careful here. They might start to question themselves. They've actually played well, just a couple of mistakes, and, well, the Bulls have been ruthless. Yeah,
and I think when you play Ayrshire Bulls, I think when you play Ayr, you know, any of the teams that kind of emerge from the Millbrae, you know, you just don't get a lot of time with the ball in hand, and you need to make it count when you've got it. And what happened is the Knights, when they got a little bit of possession, they were just put under pressure. Ayrshire Bulls turning the screw at the scrum, and then just wanting that ball back, desperate to get that ball back, no matter where they are in the pitch. And the Knights, if they want to get back into this game, they're going to have to try and compose themselves, get a bit of ball in hand, and get a bit of territory as well.
I can assure you that is not the design of the strip for the referee. That's mud. Even he's been getting splattered. Reece Cullen. That's a great angle if you see the scrum ball in quickly. McPherson gets the take, off to Cullen, pulls it back. Now there's the switch. Roderick Evans, Hyde is up, tries that kick through, trying to find the opposite fullback in a little bit of trouble. Glendenning trying to get across there. And that was excellent coverage from Donald Crawford. He had a long way to cover. And Glendenning, again, just putting that pressure on.
Yeah, if you watch that move, it's quite an unorthodox move off the back of a scrum, but it's purely to kick downfield. They've tried to drag the covering winger over to the open side, try and take him away from that defensive position, which he's bit on, so Aidan Cross has moved. They've just stabbed it in behind to a bit of space and make it a foot race, so great innovation there from the Ayrshire Bulls.
Easy take. Southern Knights finding themselves moving backwards here. The ball is in the back, it's with Maguire. That's one movement. They're still tracking, they're still going. They're trying to split and drive the ball. They're going to have advantage. Cullen pulls the ball back onto Townsend. Townsend down well. Come back for Cullen again. Still advantage. Cullen on the inside. McPherson goes through. And Blair McPherson scores. Well, the long-serving captain, 28th try at this level. He normally picks on the Southern Knights. Scored last championship meeting in September and scores this October again.
And I think you look back at that and it's again come from a Knights mistake from the restart. They've given Ayrshire Bulls possession, but you can just see here how robust that forward pack is. Cullen does really well to get in there to protect that ball because that can go messy pretty quickly. Townsend obviously having a little bite at the line as well. And then great work rate round the corner from the forwards. And then just the filtering, you know, the Southern Knights players folding round a bit early. It just allows that gap for McPherson. Just a lazy runner almost, just staying on the near side and can crash over for a try.
Brad Roderick Evans, 2 out of 2 so far. I would say this looks straightforward, but I don't want to jinx him. Certainly an easier kick than the first two.
too late, Paul.
I think I have. Let's see. He'll ignore me. Absolutely.
Easy as you like. And it's great, you know, when you've got a kicker in that sort of form, you know, adding those points, but you feel that this game, you know, early on might just be starting to get away from the Knights, and it just might be a bit of a, you know, just going through the kind of phases, going through little bit patterns of play for Ayrshire Bulls. I don't think they'll certainly take their foot off the gas.
Well, next score is going to be crucial here. Gregor McNeish gets it underway. And out into the stand that comes. An awful lot closer to the commentary position I was quite comfortable with.
I was waiting for the call.
I just presumed you'd go up and intercept that.
You've obviously never seen me play rugby.
And you pink their mark, you step back. Pink has their mark.
I was a scrum half-tail. I was used to getting everybody else to do the work for me.
I'm not going to ask you to guess what position I was.
Marry your talents, utility player. Corbin Thunder. They need to get this right. Who's a hope does so. Gets it down quickly. Onto Bell. Bell gets it through. 12 to 10. There's a change. Oh, it's gone right behind. And just a little tap forward as he chased it through Brad Roderick Evans. Again, Southern Knights here. Nice execution. Got the pass away. And you could just see it just brushing off the arm. Not deliberate.
Yeah, just trying to make the tackle and just close them down. I think that'll be a referee's whistle that the Southern Knights would have welcomed, because it just gives them the ball back, and they want to try and grow into this game. Just not being allowed. It's not that they've been playing badly. You know, there's been a couple of errors that Ayrshire Bulls have benefited off, but it's that pressure that Ayrshire Bulls bring onto it that is kind of invited them from the Knights, and so they'll be looking to try and go through the phases and get a foothold in this game.
Set.
Southern Knights have won here. They won here back in 2019.
Okay, 9.
Also 2021. They have beaten the Bulls. There's a little dummy move. There's the Barrett on the crash ball. That was a knock on though. Well, at least they're still trying to be adventurous. They're still trying to play the way that Alan Tate wants them to play, looking for the missed moves, looking for the little gaps.
Yeah, I think almost there. You know, you perhaps don't want to be. I just don't think they want to be playing rugby in the halfway line there. Yes, great endeavour, and they're trying to unlock this defence, but you know, allow your forwards into the game, keep it tight, try and invite the defence a little bit tighter so that you can then spread the ball, because you know they want to be playing rugby a bit further down. They've been on the 22 and then they conceded a score shortly after, so they need to be playing in the right areas the Knights. But again, it shows you how good the Bulls are.
Binds. Set.
Cullen. In it goes. There's the drive. Up pops the scrum. Well, it was almost just sliced in half there. And Wuso Hope has to get Jack Dobie out of there, but at the moment, Nimmo, Maguire and Miller, the players putting the pressure on.
Yeah, and you know, we just say about the Knights want to play in the right areas, but it's a percentage game, and if you're then coughing up possession there, and then you concede a penalty, you can almost concede about, we're going to see how much they're going to concede, but it could be 20, 30, 40 yards, and then again, you're just back against the wall, you're defending in your own area, and you're just inviting pressure. So, you know, Ayrshire Bulls approaching this game brilliantly with the ball in hand, kicking into the right areas.
Can I just say, while we've got that shot, I'm not a fan of the assistant referees being in all black when one of the teams is wearing all black. I understand that the jersey's on, you know, the tracksuit is there because it's a cold night, but a little bit of colour just in case one of the Knights players tries to pass to them. Cullen watches as Maguire has it, it's gone sideways.
Don't chase back.
Now Cullen brings it out. Roderick Evans round onto Townsend. Townsend gets it out. It's lovely play. Hyde with the fullback. Bardelli. He's lightning quick. Now does he get it down? He's in touch. Well, he took a sore one as the challenge was made. He'll get checked out. Look at Bardelli.
You know, hopefully he's all right, but again, good hands, good accuracy from the Ayrshire Bulls in really challenging conditions. Knowing that they have to stretch the Southern Knights, they know that it's going to be difficult to go through the middle and go direct through the Southern Knights, and they're stretching them, and they're getting a lot of joy on the flanks, getting a lot of joy out wide in the wider channels. And you know, Bardelli obviously took a sore one off the Hordens.
Yeah, it wasn't the tackle of Paddy Anderson. That was terrific covering play by the Southern Knights, but it's the fact I think his right boot went into the advertising boards. Well, he did have the nickname the Lamborghini. I think he's been dented on that occasion.
Yeah, he'll be hoping he's not third party.
Fully comprehensive. It's a night to be in the stand, and it's a night to have a hood and a bobble hat. It's not a bad idea. Bardelli still being seen to, already scored in the game.
Again, he's been a revelation since he's came into this level. You know, it's a good example of the step up from the club game into the semi-professional game. Obviously a good winger for GHA, been given his chance. And, you know, quite similar to Lewis Wells as well, you know, who went from Edinburgh Accies to Heriots. And, you know, they're given an opportunity in the professional games as well when they're looking at players for the future. And Bardelli is a great example of that.
Played for Glasgow Warriors in one of the friendlies. Crossed the line as well. So he's a man in form.
Great to see the amount of people at the stand at the grounds as well in this game. I think Millbrae is a great place to watch and be involved in rugby. Ayr as a club and a community do rugby really well. So it's good to see the stand packed for a Friday night game.
Okay, water off, please.
And they'll be delighted to see Luca Bardelli back on the field of play. Now there's a concern here for the Southern Knights.
Time on.
To make this a contest, they really need the next score. And you need to get a good exit here. Jack Dobie just whispering the ear of Corbin Thunder. Thunder gets it in, nice take. Monroe Job.
Once.
Well, they're going to try and get another couple of metres out of that. It's gone to ground. They want the ball back on their side. And the penalty, not moving away.
Side entry.
Side entry confirmed by the referee.
Yeah, they'll be chuffed with that, the Southern Knights. Great take from the line out as well, challenging conditions. Monroe Job bringing it down well, and the forwards all gathering round just to secure that ball, and they know they need to in these areas. You know, they can't be inviting more pressure onto them, and McNeish can help nudge them up the field.
Yeah, McNeish, it's a decent kick. What a journey he's had in rugby terms. He's played in great places. Former Heriots, Hong Kong internationalist, played for the Scottish club 15. Hong Kong didn't manage to find their way into qualification for the World Cup. And now back playing for the Southern Knights. Thunder waits. There's the movement. A nice easy ball into Job. Manish, there's the high one. Hyde comes underneath it. Takes it well, tries to break through. You can see the rip attempt there. As the ball comes back on the Bulls side. Cullen drives in. Craig Miller being pushed back. They're right on the edge of offside, the Knights. Cullen, Townsend. McPherson waits, tries to sidestep. And it's Archie Hosking who holds on to him.
2-0 now.
And then he steps across. Cullen.
Can't go for the ball the second time.
Well, it's gone literally a couple of yards forward. It's been knocked back. And there's the kick through. Townsend tries to go through. Good covering from the fullback. Had to get up quickly. Donald Crawford under severe pressure. The ball bounces the way of Corbin Thunder. Well, Bardelli wasn't held. He just continued to go. Well, Miller's trapped in there. And the referee gives the penalty. It's taken quickly by Bell. McNeish looks to see what his options are. He's going to send it high. Here's Aidan Cross. He's really fast. Cross makes the move. He got taken out. Chipped the ball through. And the ball will be taken by Hyde. Didn't get the chance to follow up on the kick. He was taken out almost simultaneously.
Yeah, but he did all the right things. He held his width, allowed that chance for McNeish just to spread that ball. And this is where he chips it through, makes it a foot race. But you can see there, we've spoke about what the Knights have done before, giving away cheap territory. That's what the Bulls done there. Gave away a penalty, then gave away another one close towards the halfway line. Bell goes quickly, and then they can then spread the pitch and catch them on the hop. And they need to get the tempo into this game if they want to stretch this Ayrshire Bulls pack.
So the goal line drop out. Townsend. Lays it down the middle. Taken by Hoskink. Hoskink trying to get up ahead of steam. Moving across. Runs into that pink wall.
Tackle!
Well, we'll feel that one. That's dropped by Bell. McNeish tries to set things, pulls it back. There was a second look there from Alan Ferry. Ferry held up, trying to get his knee to ground. He's done so. And he's on the right side. McNeish. That's an awkward one from Cross, from Crawford. Now here comes the clearing players. Well, they're just a little bit short forwards here, the Southern Knights. Now they're being driven out. Ball is available. And there's moving through Alan Ferry. Ferry looking for Thunder. Thunder has to get the right boot to the ball. Rhys Cullen comes across and had to take it over. Well, as he was diving over, he had to take the ball over his own line. It's going to be a scrum 5.
How he's got his foot round that is unbelievable. Corbin Thunder being able to just kind of straighten it up and make it a foot race. But great observation by you, Paul, because right in front of us, in front of the stand, there was 5 forwards from the Southern Knights out wide waiting for the ball to come. The backs were left to try and clear the danger in here, just didn't have the firepower. Ayrshire Bulls putting them under a lot of pressure just right in front of us. And yeah, it was the lack of forwards being present there.
He's fine. Yeah, guys, let's go.
Thomas Glendenning is the player who'll trot back into place. Big moment now for the game for the Southern Knights. Can they find a way to get themselves onto the scoreboard? You mentioned, Dale, that they have, tightened up defensively. They've been a lot more competitive. They've been rattling in tries, try bonuses in 6 of 8 games so far. They've been good to watch.
Yeah, the games I've seen with the Knights, they have been a little bit more expansive. I think the introduction of Alex Scott White and the coaching staff has certainly helped. And this is perhaps going to be an example of what they can do.
Well, McNeish, ball went backwards. That's a tough one for Barrett to take, but he's done so. Cullen was in quickly, penalty. Don't think he's released in time. And that's the signal from referee Rory Campbell.
You just went straight for the ball.
Yeah, it was perhaps the worst time for me to try and compliment the Southern Knights for the play in the backs. Difficult conditions to try and do it, but there have been improvements. I think it was ominous at the Green Yards in terms of the way the Southern Knights had been heading after the initial success of the side, but they've certainly steadied the ship. Some great players there.
Play on.
Well, Barrett kept it in, and Crawford sends it long. Cullen, McPherson saying no, just you kick it. Well, he stepped out. It's taken by Bell. Bell inside onto McNeish. Needs to really reset. Everybody's ahead of him. Goes for that long kick. Mardelli has to let it bounce. Takes it not under a great deal of pressure. Kept in again. Crawford. Oh, that's well taken. Cullen. Cullen then down by Paddy Anderson. Now they'll come out towards the stand side. There's Roderick Evans again. There is nobody home there. Glendenning is as quick can be, but it might just bounce the way for Bell. Bell's under severe pressure. Tackle was made, back on his feet. That ball is there to be won. Well, Thunder comes across.
Tackle!
Well, McNeish, trying to attack from inside their own 22. That was a nice take by Oscar Baird. Now McNeish mixes Barrett. Mardelli tries to get him down. That's not an easy one. Baird goes in to help. Now Alan Ferry. Ferry. Now lovely little pass on the inside. McNeish. That's going to go for Cross. Cross gathers, slides away from Roderick Evans, but Glendenning was in. Hoskink. Thunder on the inside. That's just going to be knocked into the arms of Oscar Baird. Advantage is going to come the way of the Knights. Advantage is over. Glendenning. Nice one to Hyde. Just sum all that up.
You know, it was good play from the Knights to get out of danger. They were going through steady phases, but the awareness here, Patrick Anderson, a great little stab through because it's a loose ball. They've got the advantage, but there's nobody in behind because Ayrshire Bulls are trying to then attack, and he's just spotted that little space in behind. So, you know, from being under a bit of pressure defensively, and then when the ball's turned over, the Knights have been able to get towards the 22. They have an attacking opportunity, and you know, it's a little bit smarter, more composed from the Knights now. You know, but the Ayrshire Bulls have done a lot of hard work in the first 30 minutes. You know, they'll just be trying to hold on until half time and make sure they don't concede.
Good clearance kick by Chris Hyde as well. There's a hop. Sees that ball goes backwards. And the Bulls have it. They've taken it back into their own 22. That will affect what Cullen wishes to do. Cullen hooks it up. Cross comes racing forward. Taken, ran into his own man, Monroe Job. Mozo Hope tries to offload Bell. The bounce is favourable to the Knights. Crawford decides he wants a little clip kick. Will it come back to him? Oh, he loses out on a good contest. It's a rough and ready night. Cullen. Oh, it's always difficult when it bounces. Mozo Hope does well. Well, he's just swatting away some balls. Bell. Nice short and gold. And now diving in. It's a little bit off feet. The referee was happy. And the turnover is good. And Cullen now round the corner. Crawford. Well, he went out, threw it into himself. And launched it long. It's not gone out of play. Reece Cullen is there. It is all action. Bardelli. Hyde the fullback. That's a terrific kick. And out of play it goes.
I do wonder there if the Ayrshire Bulls could have kept it in hand. They had numbers up on the stand side. I think they could have done more damage with the likes of Glendinning and Roderick Evans on the just hugging the touchline. But you know, it's again good awareness to know that if you just stab the ball in behind, there's nobody there. Try and get a bit of territory, and then try and put your opponents under some pressure. But great clearance kick as well by Donald Crawford. I think he's been a great addition to the Knights as well, coming from the club game. He's settled in pretty well to life in the Super Series.
7th appearance of the season. The Melrose man, 16 overall. Alan Tate will be pleased that his side have stemmed the scoring against them, but he would like to see them on the board before the half. Nicely done. Once more on Job. Now here's the opportunity to move it wide. Barrett. Oh, he's got plenty of power. Let's go to deck, offers the ball back. Good counter rucking. They'll keep it tight. Bell, McNeish. Ferry.
Not held.
Wasn't held. Great yards from Ferry. Now McNeish gets across. Now here's Cross from Crawford. Getting away from McPherson. Trying to get away from Hyde. Good tackle. McNeish just docked it off to Adam Hall. Real contest for the ball here. Well, we're saying it's a maul, and the penalty is going to be given.
You placed it and then you wait a few seconds and then you pushed it. Hands on the ground.
Well, hands on the ground. Fairly simple from the referee.
Yeah, and that was great play from Ayrshire Bulls because Cross had got in behind. He'd really disjointed that defence. You know, just looking at the defensive line when Southern Knights were in that position, they were really disjointed. So they're having to work really hard back. And, you know, Cross is having to do a lot of work there. And you can just see the bodies start to flood in from the next phase. Just the Southern Knights not able to keep the ball, keep enough tempo in that passage of play to really, you know, have an opportunity to dislodge that defence enough to really test it, either centre field or stretch it wide. You know, and Ayrshire Bulls really just scavenging on the ground, to be fair, but what else would we expect from this really impressive pack?
That's Lewis McNamara. He's just hopping about there slightly. 26-year-old.
2 minutes left, water off.
Made his debut for the Ayrshire Bulls back in 2021. Luca Bardelli got the try scoring started tonight. Also done some sterling work in terms of defence. As Chris Hyde sends the ball onto the roof of the stand.
Yeah, I think the Ayrshire Bulls will be happy. You know, obviously the first 30 minutes, attacking wise, they were putting the Knights under pressure, but they've now had to be under pressure themselves, and they've coped pretty well with it. Defensively, they've been really astute, really robust, so they'll be happy that they've shown both sides of their game.
Ayrshire Bulls have won 19-26 at home in the FOSROC Super Series. The Knights, another team that have travelled well in recent times. Maguire at the back, off to Cullen. Glendinning tries a little clip, and it was an interesting one from Cross. Left his body in legally. Now McNeish, here's the opportunity to get things moving. Paddy Anderson. Ruzo Hope just scooped that off the deck. Bell, McNeish. There's a little gap there. Alan Ferry, he's had some great runs. Oscar Baird brought him down. McNeish, little show and goal. Cross, he's got no space to move in. Cullen trying to drag him back. And Rhys Cullen was in the way. Little smile to the assistant as Ferry tries to get through there. Well, that's well taken by Tim Brown.
Okay, time's up, Pink. Last play.
Time is up. Christian Townsend goes for it on the angle. Barrett goes back across. Here's the opportunity to get things moving again. McNeish on to Barrett. Well, not content just to kick the ball out here. The Knights want to go from inside their own half. Hall. There's nowhere to go at the moment. Now they'll try a little chip click through. And it does work the way of the Knights. There's the long kick through. Chasing through is Paddy Anderson. Anderson makes the tackle. There's the counter ruck.
No hands, back.
Referee up the play very quickly, giving good instruction. And there's the ball kicked out of play. Well, what a half it's been. All the scoring coming in the opening half of the first half. And since then, the Ayrshire Bulls, who have the 21-point lead, have had to do a little bit of defending against the Southern Knights. Thomas Glendinning, one of the try scorers. Luca Bardelli getting things started for the Ayrshire Bulls. He's lightning quick. And certainly, the Ayrshire Bulls lead at half-time. Perhaps it doesn't tell you the whole tale. Southern Knights have been a bit more competitive than the scoreline would suggest. The half-time scoreline for Millbrae, the Ayrshire Bulls lead the Southern Knights by 21 points to 0. Territory like no other, and they managed to find themselves into the lead early. 9 minutes gone. Cullen onto Townsend. Roderick Evans, Hyde up was up there. Bardelli went for the little clip kick. He looked to be favourite, but Cross was coming over. Thought that was going to go out, but the ball just stopped on the line, Dale, and that allowed the little touch.
Yeah, I think that the work before that was really impressive from the Ayrshire Bulls in challenging conditions. The accuracy with the hands, and you'll see the little bit of confusion in the defence that happens here, just with that runner coming back in field. Just holds the defence, allows the width, and then Bardelli just chipping over. And this was one of those moments where you kind of just gamble, go for the ball, and he was just in the right place at the right time. Cross just couldn't get his heel tip, and it meant that they go in for their first score. But great play, great hands from the Ayrshire Bulls with this passage of play, just allowing Bardelli the opportunity to get the first try.
Yeah, somebody say they got the bounce of the ball, but they earned it.
Yeah, they definitely did. They worked hard on the outside. You know, a lot of work from the forwards to get to that position, and when it eventually did go through the hands, you know, the Ayrshire Bulls backs did a lot of work, and then Bardelli just never gave up. Little chip kick, we've seen it quite a lot in this game so far, but look at him pumping his arms, just ready to try and just pounce on anything. And he was, you know, he had about a millimetre to play with and did well to ground it like all good wingers do.
At the opening score of the game, conversion from Grant Roderick Evans was good from out wide. Now this was a terrific take. Thomas Glendenning, the fullback, has got his eye on the ball, just gets it nipped away. 22 metres to go. There was only going to be one winner for there.
Yeah, definitely. And again, good control from Townsend. Obviously, a late addition to the squad. Well, the starting lineup because of a little reshuffle. Good accuracy, ball in the air, and you just see Crawford jumps, and then Glendenning just a fraction after just gets his angle right, gets his body in front, and I think we're, you know, just able to just steal that march. And I think this is a great angle of that, the build up here. Cullen doing well to get the ball away from the breakdown, but Townsend just holding his depth, putting the ball in the air, and you'll see Glendenning just getting his body in front and able to keep his composure as well, stay on his feet, and then just wheel away to the line.
Third try of the season for Thomas Glendenning. It's his 8th appearance of the season, and that was all his work after a clever kick from Christian Townsend. Lovely moment when you realise that you're going to go in unencumbered, and that's precisely what he did. Looked it was going to get a little bit ugly for the Southern Knights. Penalty advantage against Townsend drove in. Look for 8. Blair McPherson always loves a scoring opportunity. Took it. He's a hard man to stop from just a couple of metres out, and he crashed his way over the line. Looked really quite ominous at that point.
Yeah, it did. I thought for the Knights it was perhaps going to be that final try just to take any sort of hope out of them. But watch here as Townsend has a little bite, and then Cullen's asking his forwards to get round, and just off camera you see Blair McPherson just casually running round, and then he just pins the lugs back and goes for it because he sees the gaps there. All the players are filtering round. Southern Knights are then trying to follow. We might even be able to see it here, but Townsend just having a little go, setting the platform up, and then Cullen has a little look and sees the ever reliable Blair McPherson just heading towards the line from a couple of yards out.
There was a hope, tried to stop him, couldn't do so. So at the interval, it's the home side in the changing rooms. The happier of the two teams. Southern Knights not out of this just yet. Join us again soon. The whole second half is live. The halftime scoreline: Ayrshire Bulls lead the Southern Knights in the FOSROC Super Series by 21 points to 0. Welcome back to Millbrae, as the Southern Knights, led there by Gregor McNeish, welcome themselves back to the field of play. It's a tough old evening once you've been settled back inside for 10 minutes to know you've got another 40 minutes to come out and play in these conditions. But Dale, credit to both sides. They've not just hoofed the ball.
Yeah, they definitely have been. It's been an interesting game. We were just talking off air about, different areas of the game and how it's, been intriguing. But, we've got to remember this is a pathway to professional rugby, and to do your job, you need to be playing in different challenging conditions. And this is just another day at work, another different atmosphere, a different area, a different work environment. It's wet, it's damp, it's dreary, but, both sides have done pretty well in the first half to make it certainly eventful.
So the Ayrshire Bulls, led by the skipper Blair McPherson, who found himself on the score sheet, as he's got a habit of doing. And our referee Rory Campbell will get ready to get us underway at the start of this second 40. So the Ayrshire Bulls, who lost their home opener against Watsonians, it was their first home loss in over a year. Have defended their territory since and look to try and extend their lead at the top of the FOSROC Super Series table. Almost went through the bread basket there of Chris Hyde, taken down by Archie Hoskin. Started off at Exeter Uni. He's got good experience there. Really trying to hope he will come on. There have been some changes, we'll confirm them to you. As McPherson on the challenge. Now the opportunity to go for a little clip kick in the corner. Certainly got a couple of new props on there.
Yeah, but, we spoke about it in the first half about how it's going to be interesting when both teams use the bench, and you can see that Farquhar and Henderson have come on for Miller and Nimmo in the front row for Ayrshire Bulls, and the beauty that they've got with the depth of their squad is you can empty your tank for 40 minutes and you just bring a player of the same calibre on for the second 40. So, good replacements to utilise for the Bulls.
Second appearance for Calvin Henderson.
Have the mark, black, in we come. You're responsible for the 1 metre gap, in you come.
Good to see Calvin Henderson back playing once more. 17 there, William Farquhar. Again, the target is Monroe Job. He has it, just trying to hold off. Baird was coming through. Clip kick round the side, that's going to be a knock-on advantage. And nothing will come from that, Chris Hyde will gather. Glendinning wasn't best pleased with himself there.
No, I think he can be forgiven after his earlier effort, but that's the perfect exit that you're wanting in these conditions, tight to the touchline, put it in an area that you can contest, and you feel that Glendinning just got a little bit ahead of it, just misjudged the flight of the ball on this occasion, and then just knocked it on slightly, but disappointed with himself. But the Knights will be happy that they were able to just withstand that little bit of pressure, accurate line out, and they can exit further down the field.
Chris Bell, attended to Watsonians, 22-year-old scrum half, making his way now with the Southern Knights.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Finish going for a little exit over the top. Hall and Anderson chasing for it. They've gathered it if they can get this out wide. Here's the opportunity. Well, Bardelli's going off. That's a deliberate knock on, as you will see. And he doesn't, well, I was going to say he doesn't stop to look round. He does over his shoulder. Well, that was a clear yellow card, as you're going to see.
Yeah, I don't think there was any need for a spoiler alert there. Straight away, seen the arm flap out, and the Knights were in for a score, definitely. If Patrick Anderson, he did well as well in the second break. You'll see he picks up the ball really well. He's got an option, he's looking to float it, just doesn't, breaks the first challenge, and then Bardelli just starfishes himself, gets his body in the road. And there's players outside, you see the grimace on the face as well, he knows what's coming.
Yeah, he knew what was happening. He did have the decency to at least look round and double check, but Again, job takes.
Go backwards, play on. Once.
Thunder at the base.
Okay, 9.
Ain't going far. Finish. FOSROC. Well held up there by Roderick Evans. Ball just through the legs of Bell. There's Thunder against McPherson. And there's the penalty. Doesn't release. It's not really the player you want to see rumbling towards you when you're on the ground, Blair McPherson.
No, you don't want to lose your footing in front of him either. You know, the ball, I thought the Knights were accurate again from the line out, coming around the corner. And then the ball squirms out, so Bell's got to then shovel the ball onto Thunder coming around the corner. He loses his footing. So, you know, the conditions just not going well with the Knights on that occasion. And Blair McPherson was just on it like a limpet there, just able to put a bit of pressure on.
Barrett keeps it in. It has gone forwards. That might be the advantage. It's picked up by Crawford. He's taken the scenic route. There's a potential 50-22 on there. It doesn't drift out enough to the line. And Cullen now has it from Hyde. Cullen. Oh, he got plenty of boot onto that. And Barrett ignores the noise from the stand. And goes down straight into Rhys Cullen, who's hurt off of that one. And Mozo Hope trying to go through the middle. Oscar Bayer trying to drag him down. Southern Knights need the first score of the second half. Rhys tries the reverse and will send it deep inside the 22. It's a terrific kick. Puts the home side under pressure. Rhys Cullen, the scrum half, still getting some attention.
Yeah, we were speaking off air as well about that kick in particular. A lot of teams looking to try and fold round the corner and go, you know, continue with the momentum, and then they're just kicking it back to the blind side, you know, and trying to entice that winger out of position. He might be flat, or he might be trying to fold round and cover, you know, more centre field. McNeish has been really, really effective in the games that I've watched him, is just going against the grain, kicking it over the top and getting good field territory, which he did there.
Pink, can we come? 1 metre. Blacker on the mark.
Alex Maguire, only one of the three front row that started, that came out for the second half. So taken by Bloodworth.
15.
Maguire has it tucked in at the back. One movement. Cullen stands in behind, but they're still making that movement up to the 22. Cullen wants it now while the ball's still inside, so he can get the clearance kick away. Terrific rugby from the Bulls. Textbook. Get it, drive, defend, take it away, and then get the kick.
Yeah, not a lot to analyse there. Accurate line out, you drive it forward and take a bit of pressure off your scrum half, and you know he can comfortably know that, you know, he's 10, 15 metres away from his try line, so he got a great exit there. Rhys Cullen obviously being able to shake off the impact of that carry from Barrett earlier on.
The 10th meeting of these two teams, the Ayrshire Bulls and the Southern Knights. Although bizarrely, the Ayrshire Bulls have 8 wins and the Southern Knights have 2. Now that rightly goes up to 10, and I'll explain that in a moment as Barrett tries to get his way through. Some lovely play. Adam Hall sliding down, gathered. The Knights. Anderson, there's a free play coming for the offside. Crawford intercepted. It will be a penalty. These sides met in the championship last term. 31-5 it finished to the Bulls, but the game counted twice because of a previous match that had been postponed. It's a statistical nightmare, it has to be said.
I think you'll be lucky that will never come up in a pub quiz, I don't think, but it's you know, these two sides, when the Super Six were the original birth of semi-professional rugby, these were the two teams that were, you know, going hammer and tong for the first championship. Great final. What was the damn health at the time, and you know, they both went in different directions, but they really set the foundation from the start.
26-16 Ayr. Ayrshire Bulls won on that occasion. Taken down well. Now what can they do? The men in black. Thunder at the base. They're driving. I think they're going to have to play this unless there's another surge to just keep on going. They're trying to hold on to him. Players being held out. They're still going. He's looking to see if there's a gap. He's trying to stay bound. Cullen waits to try and cut any try off. Well, they're still going through. Offside advantage comes through. Good luck the referee spotting where that ball is. And the penalty will be given.
A good play from the Knights again. You know, fighting fire with fire, being able to just take the battle to them, but looking to go quick now.
They've sent it right across, but that's going to be Hyde that will gather it. He'll be isolated there. Gets back onto his feet very quickly.
I would have said he was held.
Yeah, I kind of thought he was.
So, tackle is made and he's not released the ball. Leave it.
For not releasing. McNeish tries to go through there.
The mark is on the 5, slow it. There's no clear release.
Yeah, Rudy Campbell getting some support from his assistant referee there, because that crossfield kick, ill-judged perhaps from close quarters. It was well covered by Ayrshire Bulls, but when the pressure came on, he was tackled, didn't release the ball, got sprung straight up because he knew the pressure that he was under, and the referee giving the penalty to Southern Knights. So they're fortunate because the crossfield kick perhaps wasn't well executed by McNeish.
Michael Todd, Kieran Stark, the assistants to Rory Campbell, who refereed that game that counted double last year. 31-5 to the home team. It's held, it's taken. Trying to get the ball back onto Thunder. They've done so. McNamara tried to swim through. He's now being ejected from it. Thunder is there. They're still trying to get him over. Pushing towards the line. It's being held up by McPherson. Needs to release. The ball does come back. And the opportunity to go around the corners. Potential turnover there, but he's turned. Got it back on. Dobie is there. He tries to drive through. It's going to stop short.
Behind Pig.
And Mozo Hope is trying to supply as the ball bounces out. And that was a knock on from the Southern Knights. Cullen. McPherson actually kicked that further forward. Now it's back with Cullen. He takes his time. And out it goes, the advantage over.
The Knights doing the right thing there, you know, trying to use their forwards to batter over. Again, good accurate line out, coming down at the maul, but again, just Ayrshire Bulls just showing how formidable they are in defence, just not giving an inch, dominant in the tackle, driving the waves and waves of attack back as they just come round the corner, really protecting this clean sheet.
So there's a change at 10. Gregor McNeish is off, Harris Rutherford is on. Well, they're spending a lot of time down in the Ayrshire Bulls end of the field, but have not found a way to cross the try line.
Okay, 9.
Finn Burgess is also the change at 9. Adam Hall driving in, counter ruck, Paddy Anderson. With the ball on the inside, advantage will go the way of the men in pink. They're going to play the advantage, out wide it goes.
12, wait, 12, 12.
12 being told to wait. Barrett watches. It's a horrible spinning ball, but he'll gather, tries to find a gap. Glendinning chasing him down. Rutherford tries to get the offload, does so nicely into Crawford. Pulled into touch by Rhys Cullen. The intensity level's terrific.
Yeah, it's really, really good. You know, Ayrshire Bulls are on the scoreboard, look comfortable, but they're still giving absolutely everything. And I think obviously Southern Knights know at this time to bring that man on as well gives them something slightly different. That's his skill set. That's what he does to dislodge defences. And I think the introduction of Harris Rutherford is going to be an interesting one for the way that this game is going to go. A great cameo off the bench last week against Watsonians, sparked the Knights back into life, and they'll be hoping for something similar.
19-year-old Scotland under 20, and at fly half. Plenty of experience, 16 appearances now. Time for change. Tim Brown's worked hard, he always does. And so too Alex Maguire. Confirmation of the changes. Roger Tannock introduced to the action. Well, they are going to have to get bodies in there, the Southern Knights. Cullen. Oh, there's the mistake. Glendinning goes in. And the referee indicates the knock-on. Disappointment there for Aidan Cross.
Yeah, one of his strengths in his game as well, under the high ball. Just perhaps proving that men can't do two things at once and shout and collect a ball, but he's usually pretty solid under the high ball. But it's challenging conditions. Like, that's the beauty of Millbrae. It's a difficult place to play rugby. The ball gets lost just above the lights, and you can be a couple of yards either side of the ball, and I think Cross perhaps just got himself caught in that position.
On comes Luke Thompson, and the Thunder rolls off the field. Corbin Thunder makes way.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Cullen. No points conceded with the man in the bin. Cullen. There's the crash ball, and he's going to go through. Just a little bit short there, Chris Elliott. And then the ball pulled away from the knock-on. Not seen too much of Chris Elliott, but boy, did he get the acceleration there.
Yeah, and that's a great line. First phase rugby, brilliant angle, coming back against the grain, and then just being able to get those loose limbs of Rutherford, powering through, but just not able to finish it. Glendinning just fumbling as well. Bartelli back on the field.
Just a correction, Corbin Thunder will move, and he's still on the field. It was Johnny Rutherford, I think, that went off.
Yeah, they quite often do that. The Southern Knights, Thunder came on at the back row last weekend, so you know they've got a player who they can utilise in different positions, and we've seen how effective he is on the field, so they'll certainly not want to lose his contribution in this game.
Bind. Set.
Finn Burgess thought about playing it in, and up we come. The referee just has a little words with the front rows.
So you see that shoulder so they can line up straight. All right? Yes, sir. You want to move across?
I don't think the forwards will be wanting to move from the muddiest patch of the pitch. They love it, they revel in it. I think Rudy Campbell will get a firm no there.
Yep, wants to stay where they are. Well, plenty of points when these two teams get together. 24-28 earlier on this season in the championship.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Oh, the scrum's under pressure, trying to take the ball away. That's a good clearance kick to get the ball away. Now on the inside it comes. Just getting a little bit loose.
Lost now, team. Lost, don't touch it.
Cullen. Baird. Oh, he was well met there. Townsend. Anderson. It's a good take under pressure. Tries to see if there's a gap to be had. Bloodworth is the man he tried to evade. There's Thunder. There's the new partnership at 9 and 10, 21 and 22, linking up well together. Burgess and Rutherford, the youngsters. That's almost a nice offload by Luke Thompson. There was a knock-on coming through. Alan Ferry looks a tad frustrated.
Yeah, slightly disappointed. He plays really close to the line as well. Likes to get the ball, you know, in a close, congested area so he can power through. So he'll be disappointed that he wasn't able to gather that ball. But you know, you've got to look back and think that the Knights must be kicking themselves about that bouncing ball on that try line. It's almost been the thing that's really been a real kick to the stomach, because it's not. They've really grown into this game. But again, the Bulls, in terms of their defensive assets and what they can do, they're holding up, which is meaning that the Knights are getting more and more frustrated, and Ayrshire Bulls will be wanting to chase this bonus point as well.
Dan Gamble has gone off, and Craig Greer is on. Craig Greer, Bukareshki, Craig Greer was his often referred to. I've seen him referred to as both, but he's got Greer on the side of his truck out there. That'll do for me.
Yeah, I think it's easier to say, but he's his time in the club game, playing for the likes of Biggar and Hoyk, it was always the longer one of the two. Back of the jet ski, I was always said to say quickly, and you can almost get away with it.
Yeah, we quite like Greer. No scoring since the 20th minute of the match. I think when they look back, Alan Tate will regret just a couple of those tries going in against his team. But still a lot of rugby to be played, last 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's almost one of those games that you feel that you're analysing the Knights a little bit more because the strides that they've made, you know, the improvements that they've made. But, you know, we've got to give a lot of credit to the fact that Ayrshire Bulls at times have perhaps not played brilliantly, but they've taken their opportunities when they've been available to them.
And also to go an hour keeping out, you know, a side in your own division is always impressive.
Okay, 9.
They're scoring tries.
Yeah, 33 coming into this one. There's a little offload round the corner. Rhys Cullen looks ahead. Hyde tried to get there, just went in behind. And out of play it goes. He runs some great lines, Rhys Cullen.
Yeah, you know, a lot of time in the 7th Circuit as well. Earlier from his days at Watsonians, obviously from Biggar himself. But he's just a live wire in behind that scrum, and then spent a bit of time down south, and he's really improved his kind of game management and his awareness, but his sharpness has never left him. Runs his arc and runs and just attracts players onto him, which creates those gaps out wide, just not accurate with the pass there.
That spells of Bristol and Doncaster. Just rounding off his game. Choked as well. The ball is bouncing up.
6.
And they'll look to try and bring that back. Thompson was taken there. They have advantage.
Playing for advantage, 9.
Rodri Tanner leading the charge. Calvin Henderson too. And as Rutherford tries to find some space, and they will bring it back.
Change of bag, number 6.
Good take by Glendenning that time.
Yeah, good take in the backfield there and covering the space, but the advantage coming the way of the Knights. And again, just being able to be a little bit more accurate, put a little bit more pressure on the Ayrshire Bulls. And, you know, I think it's almost, half an hour ago, I remember you saying the next score is crucial. So we've waited a long time for it, and it's still the case. You feel if the Knights get the next score, there could be a bit of jitters here at Millbrae.
Harris Rutherford into opposition territory.
He's a confident young 10, Harris Rutherford, originally from Gallop. Obviously playing his rugby now for the Knights, but he's just got a great grace about him with the ball in hand. Takes the ball to the line, attracts defenders on him as well, similar to Rhys Cullen. And then he's got the skill set to pick players out and put them through holes.
Thompson in, was a hope.
Backwards.
Thunder went backwards when he gathered. Burgess. Hosking.
17 off them.
Referee just dealing with some admin in behind as the ball gets moved forward. Here's the opportunity for Craig Greer. Burgess. Going low was Luke Thompson. Rutherford. Baird did well. I think he got quite enough on the kick that Baird did well. Cullen turns, plays it away. Barrett watching the bounce of the ball. Has to get past his own players. And McPherson brings him down.
Okay, off ball now.
He attempted to counter. Ruck came from Jamie Drummond. Well, they don't want a maul, they want to get the knee down on the ground. The tackle is made. Hosking again, wanted to be the ball carrier. Rodri Tanner taking him down. Scrum half complaining, but the ball was available. And there's Rutherford. That's well taken by Hyde. Got the distance, but he couldn't put it into touch. Here's Crawford. Hyde does well, just held onto his ankles. Counter ruck again is excellent, putting pressure on the ball. Thunder tries to find his way through.
hands. Pink, leave it now.
Thompson in behind him. No hands, said the referee. Rodri Tanner didn't appreciate the handiwork there of his teammate Jamie Drummond.
Yeah, again, the Knights just being able to creep up another 10-15 metres from, you know, a bit of an aerial ding-dong battle. Rutherford's got a chance to stab them downfield, but he makes a horrendous connection with that. It's going to go dead. You know, and just when all that good work from your forwards and interlinking play has been coming in, there's that little error in there, which the Knights will be disappointed with.
Thanks. Just over the 10.
Ewan Bulger is introduced.
Guys, who's off? 5. Perfect.
Oscar Baird will go off. Ewan Bulger is off the bench. Off the bench for the 4th time this season. Appearance number 5.
Okay, guys.
You can tell the new players.
Yeah, you definitely can. Stick it like a sore thumb out there. I don't think that'll last long though.
Oh, there's a little bit of a scrap in the front. Well, the two hookers, there's a flash point there. And the referee.
You. Back. Back. 2, come here.
Yeah, both hookers are in trouble here. Rodri Tanner and Luke Thompson.
What the hell do you think you're playing at? Guys, it's been a good game. Yeah. Crack on. We've got 15 minutes left. Nothing like that. We'll just spend the rest of the time off the pitch.
It's well refereed.
I absolutely love that. I just think rugby's such a classy game when it comes to things like that. You know, you look at other sports and, you know, when flare-ups and tensions rise, like these are big guys, especially hookers. Look, a little bit of pushing in there. And Rudy Campbell has dealt with it brilliantly. Spoken, patronised them, and then we get back to the scrum and get on with the game.
Well, we got the apology. Yeah, he's quite right. You don't want to go yellow carding people if you don't have to.
Crutch!
It's a contact sport. It was a push, and the referees dealt with it brilliantly.
Bind!
Voice comes on. Jack Dobie is withdrawn. Lights going for the push. McPherson off to Cullen. Cullen with a step back inside. On to Townsend. Crawford takes it. Tries to find a little bit of space. The offload. Immediately going to be in trouble here. That was almost counter-ruck. Drummond trying to go in there. The ball is there to be won.
Unplayable Pinker going forwards.
Yeah, good call again from Rudy Campbell. A bit of pressure there, the ball trying to spill it wide for Crawford, and in these conditions you can probably just take about a yard or two off the pass. You know, it just doesn't get there as smoothly, and again, the Bulls, relentless, open play, they sniff half an opportunity, they suffocate that little bit of breakdown and make it unplayable, and then because they're so powerful up front, marching over the ball, the referee's only got one decision to make.
Well, the Southern Knights trying to find a way to get themselves on the scoreboard. Calvin Henderson on as a replacement is now withdrawn. Peter McCallum, there's a familiar face coming back.
Yeah, and I think that just again shows a lot of the culture here at Millbrae. You know, you've got a lot of familiar faces coming back. He's a seasoned campaigner in, be it Ayrshire Bulls or Ayr colours, a decorated captain and leader, and still, you know, mixing it with the best in the semi-professional era.
So the Southern Knights this season, in terms of points, I mean, they've racked up, you know, more than 20 points in all their games, bar the last one against Watsonians, where they hit 7. You know, so they have been relatively free scoring, but they just can't find a way past this defence.
Yeah, and you know, I think the scoreline as well against Watsonians perhaps doesn't paint the full picture of that game either. They had opportunities to score tries. Barrett and Cross had opportunities that they never took. It was an intriguing game. It sounds like a bit of a damp squib, to be fair, at 14-7, but it was a really interesting game. Both sides were on form, just it was low scoring because of the defence and the physicality. And you know, the Knights have improved, there's no doubt about it, but it's a difficult landscape to try and crack into and show vast improvements now that all of the clubs and all of the teams have settled.
By the time you set up, he's going to be on.
Matt Reid is about to be introduced to the action. His first time
By the time you set up, you'll be there.
Southern Knights colours. We've still had no scoring since the 20th minute. As Aidan Cross comes off.
Fine. Set. Advantage.
There's the advantage. Free play. What can they do with it?
No 20.
Little chip down the side. Glendenning trying to chase after it. It's gathered by McPherson. Well, he gets everywhere, that number 8, and usually ends up over the try line. It's a double in the game, and a big smile for Blair McPherson.
Yeah, he's been omnipresent in this game. He's been absolutely everywhere, as you say. But, you know, those sort of... You look at the size of the man, and he's at the back of that scrum there. He's controlling the ball. The Ayrshire Bulls win the penalty, and Cullen goes against the grain. He kicks it through, and look at the work rate from Blair McPherson. He is not by any means the quickest player on the pitch, but his composure to be able to control that ball and dribble it over the line. It was brilliant play, and you can just see there.
What's that side foot? That was clever.
Oh, it was brilliant. He's a big guy, and you're used to seeing him with the ball in hand being robust and physical, but the finesse there from McPherson was really impressive.
So the try bonus point secured. He's had a good night from the boot as Brad Roderick Evans looking to go 4 out of 4. He's been terrific from the boot. He is perfect. We said the next score would be important. It's come for the home team. The running of the Bulls. And it was Blair McPherson at the head of the pack.
Yeah, another player that's been impressive with the boot, Blair McPherson. But, you know, we said the kicks might have counted this evening. They perhaps haven't. But you said the next score was going to be vital, Paul, and you think that is perhaps the one that makes this less of a contest now.
Bardelli brings it down.
Close 2 now.
Well, the Knights will try and get on the scoreboard. That's the target in the last 9 minutes of the game.
Wait.
And Jimmy Drummond moves back. And it will be the aim of the Bulls to keep them out. Good take by Job. And there's the penalty.
High tackle.
High tackle right in front of the referee. And immediately Finn Burgess says to Harris Rutherford, let's get this in the corner and let's see what we can do.
We just won't quite support the ball, it's went too far away. I know it's tight, I know you're good at it. I know it's tough,
Yep. Okay, good communication from the referee. You can hear...
Pink 9 and 11 sub.
You can just hear as they're
11.
making their way to the line out, just clearing his decisions and how he's managing the game. I say it time and time again, it's a great development pathway for the referees as well. High pressure games, especially challenging conditions, and he's had a good evening's work, Rudy Campbell.
All good.
He's done well. Rhys Cullen withdrawn. Ben Frame into the action. That will be a debut for him. Look at Bardelli. Here's the other player come off. Bugger is on. Here's Jamie Drummond. Has it. He's being pursued. It's a good steal in the line out. The ball's popped back. Hosking trying to lead the charge. Still going. Trying to go through on his own. Trying to get the support there from Hall. 17 dropping down. Craig Greer.
Advantage.
Advantage has come for the Southern Knights. High tackle. Greer still trying to make his way forward.
Stay.
Burgess. Around the corner it comes on to Luke Thompson.
Thanks.
Trying to go low. The ball comes back.
Play advantage still.
The advantage is still being played. Burgess gets it across. Rutherford, little give and go, trying to find the line himself. Not far away, far enough. There's a little touch around the side again. They're being sent to the side. trying to find a way to pierce their way through. They're still going. There's a little ball. Hosking, he's played well, he wants to go again.
Held.
Wasn't held. He's played well, he's got the eye at 8. Greer trying to bludgeon his way forward. Lays the ball back. It was out. Rutherford tried to find the line on his own. They were trying to hold him up. And the turnover is there, so they'll come back for the penalty. It's a lot of defending to do.
Yeah, I know, and you look at some of those tackles that are being made, they're dominant tackles going in from Ayrshire Bulls, driving the Knights back. But again, they're coming again. They're still great endeavour from this Knights side to try and get over the whitewash.
Thompson takes the tap. That's the old-fashioned way. You tap and go. Set it up on the line. Job just managed to get that ball back.
Release!
Player being told to release. Burgess in there again. Burgess gets it wide. Hall trying to drag the ball over. This is great defence. Again, trying to see if there was a way around. Jamie Drummond was blocking there. Again, trying to come round. They're going to have to force this out wide, I think. Take the ball with them. There's Greer there once more. McPherson leading the charge. Ball bounces free. And the referee is giving the penalty. Offside.
Time's off. No more here, or someone goes. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay.
Hosking has to come back. So there's a final warning for the Bulls. 5 minutes to play.
Offside.
And the call of offside confirmed.
Play.
Luke Thompson. There's the tap. There's the goal. The burrowing down. Who's a hope? 18 Donald Voss. They're trying to hold him up. He's over the line. They're holding on to the ball. That's going nowhere.
Goal line.
Excellent defence.
Yeah, brilliant defence. Every single passage of play. There's obviously a few penalties in there.
4 to go.
But defensively, you know, really resolute. You can see Voas just going in there just a little bit too tall, and they just swarm round him, choke him, you know, tackle him to death, hold him up, and then they can kick clear. And this is, you know, it's going to take a big effort to breach this defence this evening.
There's a little flick pass on the inside. Voas trying to gather. Not giving up the Southern Knights. Trying to find a way wide here. There's a little shimmy from Matt Reid. Matt Reid on the inside. On to Paddy Anderson. Greer scooped that up. Blair McPherson was in there. Ripped away by Thunder. McNamara brought him down. Alan Ferry just keeps on going. Alan Ferry tries to spot the gap. Now back out it comes. Thompson being driven forward by Voas. Still trying to get it out wide. Hosking trying to see if there's a gap. There's a penalty advantage coming for the Southern Knights. I'm not sure if a card will come with this either. And there's the penalty. There is a card.
Repeat infringements, off you go.
And for repeat infringements,
Here, guys.
Bulger, that's gone. Yellow card.
Yeah, it's not as dangerous an area, you know, but consistent from the conversation from Rory Campbell that there was going to be a card if there was another infringement there. So the Bulls down to 14 men, and you feel that, you know, that perhaps the Knights need the Bulls to be down to 14 men to try and breach this defence, because they've been playing well, they've kept the ball in hand, they've tested this defence, but it's withstood absolutely everything this evening.
Yeah.
Lots of standout characters. Your player of the match, Dale?
I think Blair McPherson, he's led well, you know, he's been brilliant in defence, but you know, getting a brace in a difficult evening when they needed that bonus point was you know, a great show of character. And I think we'll be looking back on this game, praising the West Coast Messi for the rest of the time.
Well, good.
Well, as player of the match, he's got to present himself with the award because he's the captain, but given everything else he's done, he'll be able to do that. Job again, takes down the Bulls, defending the line.
That's once.
There's the first move. Now it comes out wide, Rutherford. Well, he spilled it, and the turnover is good. Well, the Bulls, they'll be thrilled with it. 4 tries, the bonus point win, but they're trying to hold out the Southern Knights. There's a slightly unorthodox kick. It's gone out of play. Not been too many shutouts this season. Heriots shut Watsonians out earlier on. But we've now gone over 1,500 points. The average of the Super Series Championship, average match 60 points.
It is an impressive effort to shut out any team at this level. You think of how games are run and managed, to not even get to a position that the Southern Knights have had a chance to have a pop at the posts is, you know, remarkable. And defensively, they've been stuck in the line on some occasions and been able to, you know, withstand absolutely everything this evening. Ayrshire Bulls have been impressive.
Drummond's picked up as Ben Weir is standing about 15 feet from me. He's about to make his debut, the son of the late Doddy Weir.
John, time please.
As the clearance kick is kept in, and the knock-on is given.
Wait, no! Don't react.
And just a little bit of niggles coming in there, not required. Rodri Tanner, never short of a word or two.
Last play.
And there is
Mark's here.
a big moment for the Weir.
Last play.
Yeah, great to see. Great to see him come onto the pitch. He's been improving kind of season on, the youngster from his time at Melrose, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a throwback to see a Weir and a Townsend on the pitch together, but it's great to see, and it's a great story in Scottish rugby.
It's a tremendous look. As I say, big moment for the Weir family.
Crouch!
Even had that, he's got the gait of Doddy, isn't he? The way he just came in there, went down.
Oh, definitely. You know, obviously playing, it was Melrose Gala last weekend as well, big occasion for the Weirs, and you know, a lot of involvement in either camp, their family, their kind of their wider family on both sides as well. So it's ironic that we've got a Townsend and a Weir playing face to face after the derby last weekend.
Final few seconds of the match. There's been 2 things consistent about it: the rain and the entertainment, despite the rain.
Hold it.
There is the player of the match. Went backwards on that occasion. Final play. And they knew it was the final play. Ben Frame pops it out of play. Job done for the home team. The Southern Knights are denied even a point on the board. And while the scoreline reads 28-0, it doesn't tell the tale. You've got to dig a little bit deeper.
Yeah, you definitely do. I think Ayrshire Bulls were clinical. I think if you're recalling this game quickly in your head, there wasn't a lot of opportunities for either side. But I think the opportunities that both teams were presented with, Ayrshire Bulls took them when they were available, and they withstood a lot of pressure throughout the whole game. You know, Southern Knights have improved a lot over the season, but Ayrshire Bulls also just keep improving. So they're able to shut them out. I think it's a remarkable effort from Ayrshire Bulls. Played well, difficult conditions, but it was an entertaining game.
Well, the Southern Knights came into this one 33 tries in 8 tries in every game. Well, they couldn't even find a point on the scoreboard. Look at Bardelli getting the scoring started. And what is a good win for the Ayrshire Bulls. They will remain top of the table no matter what else happens this weekend. Now over 1,500 points scored in 27 games at the FOSROC Super Series. Great effort from the visiting Southern Knights. There'll be a lot for Alan Tate Scott to talk about and to take from it. Also Lewis Carmichael. But in the end, they have lost to, well, the team just hitting their stride at the moment, the Ayrshire Bulls. Watsonians have got the better of them a couple of times, and if they should meet again, it's going to be some game.
Yeah, and I think perhaps that, you know, that bonus point could come back to be pivotal in this table, because Watsonians haven't been as consistent as they perhaps have been last year. Obviously find themselves a bit further down the table, but these points are going to be really crucial coming into getting who's going to get precedent going into the playoffs.
Well, the Bulls continue their impressive home records. And it's now 6 straight wins against the Southern Knights. Well, the Southern Knights, well, they continue to struggle on the travels. Lost all 4 away games now this season. They have lost now the last away, 8 away. Last away win coming back in October 2022 at Heriots by 27 points to 20. The home fans are happy. They have seen the men in pink battle with Southern Knights and come away with maximum points. I thought we were at a Taylor Swift concert for a moment. Thankfully we're not.
Speak for yourself.
Player of the match this evening was Blair McPherson. Try in each half, and he was his usual consistent self. There he is, packing down at 8. This was after good play from the Bulls to put the Southern Knights on the back heel. The advantage came, the pass on to Cullen, back down the blind side. There was the kick through, and Blair McPherson was the man who wanted it. Lovely, deft little kick over, and over the line he went. Referee up with play to see the score.
Yeah, again, steady scrum. It was under pressure on some occasions this evening, but again, shown well there. McPherson doing well to dribble the ball and keep it under control, and he's going to be needing that right boot, as we'll see shortly. The conditions perhaps a little bit of a leveler, but that control there just to put the right amount of weight on that ball and then slide in, because the ball was short of the line as well. So, you know, he'd put it in a great area, because if the Knights had got to it first, they'd have carried it over. So you can see there just great awareness, and he's just such an intelligent rugby player. Perhaps, you know, is more well known for his robustness and his carries, but hopefully he gets labelled the West Coast Messi now after that control.
I love that. We'll be talking about that one for the next week or two. 6 tries in 9 games this season for the ever-present Blair McPherson, the fearless leader. That was the try from the second half. Let's have a look at the try from the first half. Gabardelli, a lovely little clip kick over the fullback, and Cross thought he was going to do enough to put it out of play, but Bardelli was in there. There's just little moments like that in the game that Ayrshire just a tad more clinical.
Yeah, and I think, you know, in hindsight, we were talking about it on comms, is I think the Knights will look back at this moment in the game being a huge, huge moment, and we probably didn't feel it at the time, but you know, that is just the finest of margins, and it put the Knights on the back foot, and it was something they really struggled to get, you know, back into the game with. But it's the accuracy, you know, with the ball in hand. Look at the conditions, they're absolutely horrific for fast flowing rugby. They're able to get the ball in front accurately and give the winger a chance to have a stab at the line, and, you know, as I say, closest to margins and able to dot it down.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there was no giving up on this. Some other wingers might have thought, nah, I'm not getting there, but there was no check in the run. He wanted to make his way through, and that's good play. And you take note of these things. It's the attitude, the willingness, the want.
I think, you know, when he got to the try line, when he knew Cross was covering, that's when a winger might die with, you know, with the effort. But he just held up. He just kept going and kept looking to get an opportunity, and took it when it was there.
This was Christian Townsend, and Thomas Glendinning just got in ahead of Donald Crawford, and into the try line he went. Full back, didn't do too much wrong, but simply just good play for the winger. Spotted that he could get in just in front.
Yeah, great accuracy from Townsend with the boot, and Glendinning almost, it felt like live when I was watching it, like he could have jumped in above the floodlights here, because he got so high. But when you look back on it, just at this angle's a beauty to see where he got his body position. Townsend just looking at it, taking his time, and you'll see Glendinning just gets in front, and it's, you know, a really competitive competition in the air. Like, Glendinning won. He got in front, got the ball, and was able to go in for the try.
Yeah, the fullback must have thought that was coming into his hands, but saw it snuck away from him on that occasion. So that was 2 tries in the opening 15 minutes, and what had been a fairly even 15 minutes. The third try of the match went in. Blair McPherson with 20 minutes played. And then we didn't get, you know, any more action until the 70th minute after that.
Yeah, you know, the try first in terms of here, it was accurate from Ayrshire Bulls again. You know, accurate from the line out, coming round the corner, and just enticing the Knights round. Townsend running to the line, trying to encroach the defenders on him. Cullen asking his forwards to get round, and off screen there, you can actually see McPherson clap and just lazily run towards that gap, and it's, you know, great awareness. And you know, that's the things that you perhaps don't see, you know, at live action. Sometimes you see the finish, you see the power, but you don't see the intelligence there, that he was able to just slowly start galloping towards the line, clapped, shouted to his scrum half, he changed his direction and he goes over the line. But yeah, it was a while until we got any scoring, but in terms of action, it was almost non-stop. There wasn't a lot of stops in play, there wasn't a lot of scrums, it was relentless, great endeavour, and it was physical.
So the Ayrshire Bulls win by 28 points to 0 over the Southern Knights. More rugby to come tomorrow. The Stirling Wolves head to head with Heriot's Rugby. That's at 3 o'clock at Bridgeshaw. And then the Boroughmuir Bears host Watsonians Rugby in what is an exceptionally local derby in the capital. The Bears against Watsonians. So after their victory tonight for the Ayrshire Bulls, now won 7 of 9, the 2 defeats both coming to Watsonians. 6-point advantage over Heriot's, who mentioned go to Stirling Wolves tomorrow. The Southern Knights could see them overhauled by the Stirling Wolves, who realise that they've got a chance at that 4th playoff place. Well, what a night of rugby it's been. The rain was relentless, the rugby was terrific. And a big thanks to our camera crew for all their work in this horrendous weather. What a night we had. 4 tries for the Ayrshire Bulls. The man of the match, Blair McPherson, with a double. What a game it was for him. But the Ayrshire Bulls defeat the Southern Knights by 28 points to 0. For myself, Paul Mitchell, Dale Clancy alongside me. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.